How do we write content that actually sounds like us? So the two things that I've done that I think work really well for me is make sure Claude is connected to your apps. So the cool thing that you can do with Claude is you can go into the customize on the sidebar and you can connect it really quickly to your Gmail, to your Google Drive, to your Slack. And what all these things are just examples of how you communicate, how you write with your teammates, how you write emails, how you send proposals. It now has access to all this context from you. And this is without you having to do much. The other thing is also going through your LinkedIn, and easiest way possible, I'd say, is like going and see the posts that you've posted in the past, and just Control A, like just copy everything and dump it into Claude and tell it, hey, can you create a voice and style guide based on all the examples of communication that you have access to? So you can say, remember to look at my Slack, to look at my Gmail, look at my past LinkedIn posts, and create a guide that can help anyone that needs to write something as if they were me to be able to do it as accurately as possible. And what Claude will then go and do is basically create a thing that we call a skill, which all it is just a text file that is basically what we've been calling in marketing for years, a brief, which is something that a lot of clients don't do very well, which is basically a very, very detailed description, which is what AI do really well, right? AI is very, very good at looking at patterns, at defining things, at describing things, and it will good if you give it a lot of examples of your writing, it can create really, really good descriptions of how you write. Good thing here is when it gives you back this file, you should go through with it, go through all of it in very much detail. Don't just take that and use it and assume Claude is going to know how you write, because two things can happen. One, it's going to default to average again. B, it might not gone into as much detail as you want it to go, which means then you have to go and, hey, Claude, I urge you to be more detailed in your descriptions, and it's going to pull more things out. And three, you might actually realize things about your writing that you don't like. And you don't want that to be replicated over and over again. So there might be things that you're like, oh, actually, I use like a lot, and that's terrible. Maybe I shouldn't write like this. And you can actually just remove that from the prompt it creates, so that you have a prompt that is not just how you write, but how you always want to write and be how you want to be seen in the future, right? And then that turns into a skill, and a skill on Claude is nothing more like a backslash command, like you've seen on Notion and things like that. So you backslash, and you're going to have a list of all the skills you created, which are just basically saved prompts that you can call in whenever you need.